What's shaking, squad? We are back for Out of the Park Baseball, our 2022 Pittsburgh Pirates play through. So as we were away, we decided a couple things. One, I decided this is our last year, regardless of what happens. I know we're 6.5 behind the Reds right now. I know we're in the hunt for a wild card spot. Regardless of what happens in June, July, August, September, this will be our last year. And because of that, I decided, hell, we are going to go all freaking in, baby, on this year to try to win it. Our lineup, I think, is good enough. Our bullpen is definitely good enough, but our rotation needed some work. So, and I spent a ton of time looking through potential deals, going team by team, and our salary or our budget situation has left us really in some dire straits in terms of what we can and can't do. So, but I did make 3 deals, and I'll show you what they were here. So, we traded. We'll start with the most recent one, and we traded. This is really the highest level. Robert Castro and Ricky Herrera. Ricky Herrera has a pretty good ceiling to him in center field, but he's kind of blocked anyway, and he's not going to, if this is our last year, he's not going to contribute this year. So I traded him and a couple other. Robert Castro is going to be a good pitcher one day, but, we won't get to see that. But Drew Gray, we trade for him. So interesting. He pitches and he plays the outfield as well. Okay stats from a pitching perspective, and okay stats from a hitting perspective. But he bats and he throws lefty, which is very important to us because we don't have any of those. And if you look at his ratings, I feel like there's room for improvement there. His pitches, high ability. His splits against lefties and righties are pretty good. Same with both hitting and pitching wise. So, and then he's also good on the bases. So I think there's some potential to be unlocked there. And you can see he also made the All-Star team a few years back. So maybe buying a little bit low on someone who can be a difference maker both at the plate and the field. If anyone remembers the playthrough that I did last year with the Pirates, I traded for Brendan McKay, and he was fantastic for us. He held down it down the field, and he pitched excellent. He pitched excellent ball for us. So that was kind of what I had in mind when I traded for him. The other one is we went out and we grabbed Winn, which was the the Rangers are rebuilding, and this was their ace, and he was a legitimate, a great pitcher for them. Splits, righties, lefties are pretty good, and we're not asking him to be, number 1 pitcher here. We're asking him to maybe even be number 4 if you think of who we already have. So he started off as a relief pitcher, if you notice there. And then maybe our most inconsequential one was going to be Tyler Baum. You just hear my air kick on here. I'll go turn it off in a second. But yeah, if you look at him, he's probably had all these guys I'm buying low on, and the thought process behind that is, they're not worse than what we have now, and we didn't have to give up any of our starters to get these players. So if worse comes to worse, we can just kind of revert to what we had. If worse comes to worse, we're not going to make the playoffs anyways, to be honest. So again, just some mid rotation. If you look at our starting rotation, our pitching staff now, we have Kumar Rocker having a good year, Evan Sierra having a good year, Tyler Baum, new acquisition, Drew Gray, new acquisition, and then Dick Fitz, who has had a very good year, very, very good year. There's a lot. We don't really have, other than Kumar Rocker, I don't know if we really have a really great ace, but we have a lot of good guys that can get us to late in the game. Because if you look at our bullpen, and you can see Winn starting in the middle relief. But if you look at our bullpen, Sean Bacon, stud. Josh Beauclair, stud. Kenneth Quintanilla, stud. Malachi Rick, stud. If you look at all their stats, they are just having, excellent years. Cesar Guerrera, stud. Thomas White is probably our weakest link in the bullpen, and he's still having a .3 WAR season. So I mean, we are there in terms of our bullpen, and I think our lineup as well. And I'll be interested to see how often Gray gets in on the in the lineup. So those are the trades that we made. Royce Lewis, you can see still out. Andy Maldonado, he was a day-to-day injury. I put him on the IL, really, just to maybe create a roster spot, or not maybe but to create a roster spot for 15 days as I figure out the rotation. He was in it originally, so and you can see here he's having a decent year WAR perspective, but his peripheral stats, almost 6.5 walks per 9. That's not really sustainable to give up that many walks and have that strong of a contribution at the end of the year. So we didn't touch the lineup at all. We don't really have much to touch the lineup with. I mean, we could go and check out the right fielding options, but I mean, Tim McHugh provides pretty good defense out there, so I don't know what else will be available there. We will sim a couple games here. Let's just see how that goes, and then we'll maybe adjust from there. But we have a series coming up against the Brewers. So Brewers dead last in our division. We're 6.5 back from the Reds, and then we are tied for the first wild card with the Cardinals, and we're a half game up on the Rockies on that. So very, very tight race. That's why I wanted to make this trade now. If we could get an extra month out of these players, or 2 months as opposed to wait till the end of July, if we could get a month out of these potential players or these new acquisitions, that might be the difference in maybe even catching the Reds, because we do have 6 games coming up here against the Reds. So, anyways, we will start simulating and see how it goes. So first one against the Brewers. Again, this is the last year we're going to do this playthrough. All right, 4-3 win. I like that. Okay, so let's go. It always feels good after you get a win right after you make a trade. It just feels like you made the right decision. Top of the 10th, the old Buccos got the dub. Grant Cook, solo home run. We will take it. Chapro, Thomas, and Gonzalez both had multi-hit games. Rocker going 7 2/3. All right, Rocker, player of the game. All right. Now we're only 5.5 back. So now let's sim here against the Brewers. Okay. All right, let's win the series. Let's win the series, baby. Yeah, okay. 5-4. 5-4. Top of the 8th. Got 2 runs. Looks like Nick Gonzalez had his 12th double of the season. Anyone have great games? Vlad Guerrero went 3 for 5 with 2 RBI. Nick Gonzalez 2 for 4, obviously with the 2 RBIs as well. Baum in his first pitching effort for the Buccos goes 7 1/3, gets the win. Gave up 3 home runs though. That is highly worrisome. Only struck out 1. Highly worrisome. Yeah, only 47 game score. So 50 game score is like average. So, he got outpitched by Christian Javier, who's actually on my real life fantasy team this year. But yeah, still got the win. Hey, we will take it. So series win, boom, down right there. All right, we'll probably sim up to the Reds series unless something gets out of control. So. All right, let's sim here against the Mets. Let's check where the Mets are at. All right, so we're 1 game up on the Padres. So look, Cardinals won 3 in a row, it looks like there. Shocker. Look, people, the Cardinals. Here comes their annual sprint fest to the top of the division. Gotta love it. Gotta freaking love it. It's like clockwork. But anyway, the Mets 27-27. Not too far back from the wild card spot there, starting that really second tier of contenders there. So let's see if we can take the series against them. So opening, 4-3 win. That's great. Just got a run in the bottom of the 7th there. Junior San Quentin, 5th home run of the season, it looked like, in the bottom of the 7th. Garcia went 3 for 4. Neal went 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. And then Drew Gray, 6 innings, 3K. He gave up 3 home runs too. Ooh. 49 game score, again, a little bit below average. So, but our bullpen, again, just saves the day. Our bullpen is so freaking good. But, all right, let's see if we can get the clinch the series win right here. Yes. All right, Dick Fitz is a little banged up, but that's okay. You should be fine by the time you get back. What do we have here? Hole in the lineup. Don't know what happened there. Okay, well, whatever. Whatever. Not sure what that was about. But, okay, so got the 6-2 victory. We'll come back to the standings here. Ooh, first 4 players, multi-hit game. First 6 in the lineup had a hit. That's how you score runs right there. Pirates were winning 3-1, got insurance in the 7th and the 8th. Let's see here. Dick Fitz, 5 2/3, 2K. No home runs. That's good. Still 43 game score. So a below average pitching from our starting pitchers the last 3 out of like 4 games, I think. But we're still getting the wins because our bullpen is so dominant. So let's see if we can sweep the game against the Mets here, or sweep the series against the Mets. There we go, a 2-1 win. There we go, baby. Ke'Bryan Hayes, 2 for 2 with an RBI. And then looks like San Quentin hit a double in the 8th inning as well. So Buccos score a run there and take the lead. Kumar, 7 1/3, 6K. All right, good game out of him. Player of the game with 71 game score. So that's great. So we'll sim against the Cubs, who are dead last in the division and almost dead last in the league. So we're 3 back from the Reds right now. We are a game up on the second wild card spot, and the second wild card spot is up 2 games on the nearest team. So I have a tad bit of breathing room there, but we're not going to take it for granted here. So we got 4 against the Cubs. Let's see if we sweep this series, that'd be great. But let's just split it first. Let's focus on splitting it. Okay, that's not going to get us to splitting it. Okay, now we got to win these 2 to split it. Okay, 5-2 win. All right, pulls us back into reality there, or pulls us back into normalcy. Nick Gonzalez going 4 of 5. Man, he's having a bang-up year. Gray, 6 2/3, 5K. No home runs this time out. We will take that. 54 game score. All right, so then let's see. Can we split against the Cubbies? Ugh. Royce Lewis, back from the DL. Okay. Ooh, man, even though we just lost 3 of 4 from the Cubbies and are now tied for the second wild card spot, fucking course, we get one of our best difference makers back, and that's our boy Royce, who has only played 5 games so far. Let's hope he can stay healthy for the rest of the season here so that we can make a legitimate run. So that's going to be actually a big boost for us and a big boost for our lineup. Now we really only have 2 weak spots in the lineup. So, yeah, this is a big series coming up against the Reds, the Cardinals, of course, in their usual annual sprint. But yeah, this is going to be a big series here against the Reds coming up. So we will check that out in our next video, but I appreciate you staying with me here. Appreciate you checking out the trades. And got a big shot to the arm at the end of this video, baby. Royce Lewis is back. Let's go, Buccos. See you guys.